Hello everyone, and I wanted to thank the FMI for inviting me here today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Marc Hubbard, and I run the US business for Advantage Report. Nothing to do with Advantage Solutions. We are the international market research company focused on retail and supplier collaboration. We work with over 35,000 unique individuals across more than 42 countries to understand what drives collaboration. Now, we've just heard from Chris mentioning that digital collaboration may lead to 2.5 to 3.5 points of margin improvement. And Graham said through his research, there could be between 5 and 8 times the ROI in collaboration. While our research says there's about a 5% sales performance improvement for companies that score higher in our collaboration than their peer set that are in the lower tier of our study. Higher sales performance in the future. We're actually a future predictor of sales success. Now, if suppliers are able to grow at 5%, then so can retailers too. In fact, what we've also seen is that certain suppliers are able to get double-digit sales performance improvement in the following year by doing what they do differently and better. Now, what is 5% worth to your business? For some of you, it might be a few million. For many of you here, it could be tens of million, hundreds of million, and for one or two of you, it could be over $1 billion of performance improvement just by changing how you do what you do. So let me share with you a couple of stories as to why that really matters. A supplier told us that they just went through a restructuring and they were focusing their efforts on a certain number of retailers, and retailer X was not going to be part of that mix for shopper investment and funding. However, based on the relationship that they had with that retailer, they went back to senior management and the retailer was approved for this additional investment. Now, that was honestly just down to the way the retailer did what they did, their willingness to change and course correct based on information. The supplier said this is by far one of our favorite retailers to work with. Let me share another story. A supplier told us about a retailer. They said retailer X is way behind on the technology they're using in digital. That is necessary and sufficient to meet today's consumer needs. The retailer knows it. Their technology is abysmal. They're just simply failing to meet the basic capabilities and features their competitors can do. And as a result, we are going to remove our resourcing and funding from that retailer and apply it elsewhere. So what do you need to do to be a top retailer or supplier to capture that tens of millions or hundreds of millions of investment and move your business forward? Well, there's a lot of hard work involved and it's really complex. But in less than 2.5 minutes, I'll try and explain what you have to do. First of all, a retailer needs to collaborate, not dictate. That doesn't mean you don't negotiate hard, but you're actively fostering a level of collaboration that treats your suppliers with respect and is asking for input and encouraging them how to engage with you better. At a human level, we are more willing to go the extra mile with someone that wants to lean in with us. And the second great behavior is great communication, clear, concise communication about what is needed and why. Now, internally, it's equally important to align to make sure all your stakeholders are on the same page. Now, if you're proactive, you really start to get in towards best in class. The third trait for great retailers is follow through and follow up. So are your people consistently following through and following up? Is your word your bond? Are you trusted? Underperforming retailers are consistently inconsistent in what they do, how they do it, and therefore they lack trust. Now, I was talking with a colleague last year who said, I've got $1 to spend. I've got $1, there's no more money. So how am I going to apply that money? Is it going to go to my collaborative retailer or my uncollaborative retailer? Or where do you think that dollar is going to go in investment? So my advice to the retailers, if you're not the biggest retailer to your customer, make sure you are the best to work with and partner with, because if not, they will be underinvesting with you going forward. Now, if you are one of the biggest retailers, I guarantee you will get more investment and collaboration and results by partnering with them as opposed to dictating how you do what you do. But what about the suppliers? What are some behaviors and traits suppliers should be looking to demonstrate? Well, great supply chain is really a foundation. And it doesn't mean it's perfect, but it's extremely consistent. That amazing marketing plan we all worked on is honestly worthless if we can't get the right product in the right place at the right time. Your supply chain colleagues are really the foundation of everything you do. Now, great suppliers Also deliver consistent performance across everything: sales, marketing, supply chain, people. You can't be a great partner without being great at everything that we measure. And top suppliers are constantly measuring their performance and course correcting and adjusting to make sure they are always improving, because everybody can always get better. Now, the third behavior is proactive communication. And proactive is really the key word that we see woven throughout our research around the world. And for both retailers and suppliers, it's really a golden rule of great communication. And if you want to be a great trading partner and a great collaborator, you must also be open and transparent about what you're trying to achieve. Now, my time is up. We're going to move over to the panel discussion now. Thank you.